Okay, we have, on top of everything else going on in my life right now, my computer crashed. Yay for me. And so now I'm using this other computer, and it's slow as fuck. But, and plus I can't get my software to work correctly, but I've uploaded this other software now, so I can, and hopefully it's going to come out. I have no idea how the sound's going to be, but I'm not spending hours on trying to tune this in correctly, since nobody watches these anyway but me, and I'm the one that's interested in this fucking clown show called the board meeting, and I want to finish this up before the next board meeting, which is the monumental board meeting where they're going to raise the fares on the poorest people in the region, and they're going to do the most despicable thing they've done a lot of despicable things since I've followed this place. They truly are a crime syndicate and an employment program. They gave people like me a job. I mean, they took a lot of us losers and gave us jobs, and I'll call myself a loser. And so it is an employment program but it's really a money laundering program. And all you got to do is know that the TRIMET budget is $1.9 billion, and the cost to operate the system is $450 million, leaving $1.2 billion of unknown money that they're not going to talk about, and nobody's going to ask the questions but me. And so let's finish up the clown show.
They're consolidating what Wilsonville's doing. And what does it speak about? And it's just food for thought. What does it speak about market shares? Us as a mobility.
All right, we already heard this, so we can move it up.
Mr. General Manager, your comments, please.
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. The Park Avenue Park and Ride is a two.
Oh yeah, here they're gonna here. Look at this pork barrel. Okay, they're gonna. I forgot how much it is.
Parking structure
Let me see.
located at the southern end of our Max Orange Line. It sits adjacent to the Park Avenue Max Station and the Oak Grove area just south of Milwaukee.
Is this it?
From the early days of the Orange Line project, staff anticipated a need for additional floors at the parking structure.
Yeah, I mean,
Therefore, the garage was.
this is
levels.
they're doing a fucking garage. Nobody's running the fucking system. The ridership is down 50%, and these motherfuckers are doing a parking garage. Are you pissed yet? Does anybody care? No, just Al. He's the only one that cares. How much is going into this baloney? Oh, look, they scored. Look how cute they are. So who got it? Hoffman? Let's see. See, this is what they do all day. These TRIMET people, they sit around and give money out all day. And that's what they do. And it's a fucking crime syndicate. So who got it and how much is it? Look at this nonsense. 15 fucking million. Wait a minute. What was it? Look at that, folks. $17 million. Fucking parking garage, and they're going to raise your fares so they can get $5 million a year more.
But designed with an eye to allow expansion to 4 levels in the future. TRIMET is now prepared to advance that project with the use of unspent funds from the Portland-Milwaukee Light Rail project.
Well, they got money sitting around. It's just sitting around. We got a bunch of money sitting over here, folks. It happens to be $17 million. And we're going to give it out to one of our crony fucking contractors. So Sans got it, huh? Surprised they didn't give it to Hoffman, since that's the...
October 2022, the board approved a resolution authorizing an exemption from a low bid.
Oh, we need a little bit anymore when you're TRIMET. We take who we want. We don't care about bids. We, the kings of TRIMET, decide who we're going to give out of our, who's going to get our money. Crime syndicate, folks.
Process for the contractor. TRIMET issued a RFP.
And I have no idea how this software is working, but we'll find out.
Of the 3 proposals. for this specialized scope of work.
The specialized scope of a parking garage.
Its proposed price came in 27% below TriMet's approved budget for the project.
Fucking
The
liar.
resolution includes a change order of up to about $1.7 million
Why don't you just give it to me for free, because you're gonna give it to him anyway, you cheats.
for a total authorized contract amount of just over $19.1
Yeah.
million.
That's 19 million. We'll get a parking garage for 19 million. Meanwhile, we're gonna squeeze the poorest people in the region. Do you see? Can anybody see? Does anybody care? Besides me and 5 other people that might watch this. And the people that watch this and enjoy watching me freak out, basically. Because I know it's such a crime syndicate.
For this design build contract. Should any of these changes ordered funds be needed, they will be drawn down from contingency funds remaining from the Max Orange Line federal full funding grant agreement. Funding for the contract is included in Engineering, Construction, and Planning Division's FY23 budget. SCANSA's workforce is 24% female, 17.5% minority. The firm estimates that at least 17% of the work will be performed by DBE certified contractors, and TriMet will work with SCANSA to increase that amount to as much as 30%. I recommend your approval.
Thank you, Mr. General Manager. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved, Kim?
Thank you, Director Kim. Is there a second? Thank you, Director Way. It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone wish to make a comment before we vote? Seeing none, I will ask all who can vote. All in favor?
No, give me that parking garage is completely unnecessary, but we got money, we're gonna give it away, and we're gonna be big shots.
We now have 3 ordinances to consider this morning. The first 2 are second readings, which require votes. Those will be followed by a first reading.
What are they up to? What are these fucking people up to?
Let's get started. So we're going to begin with ordinance 372. It's regarding service adjustments that TriMet plans to implement late next month.
Alright, let's see what it is. Let's make it so you can read it. Oh, this is their service change. Nope. They made that without asking you, they just did it. Hey, we're going to roll out forward together, they're going to roll out our huge propaganda machine to tell you how great it is. And the entire public is going to believe it.
General Counsel Shelley Devine.
Why is this so low?
Ordinance 372 of the Tri-County
Yeah.
Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon, adopting May 2023 service changes and revising route designations, and this is the second reading.
Thank you. Mr. General Manager.
Alright, you got it. Alright, look, call me back, I'm in the middle of something.
Simmons, members of the board, if
All right,
approved
bye.
here today, we are prepared to make these adjustments with our May 2023 service plan. That means changes will take effect on Sunday, May 28th, a little more than just 4 weeks from today. The 2 routes that would see the most significant changes are the Line 17 and Line 70. If approved here today, the results will be safer access to Cleveland High School for students using Line 70 buses.
I know, that's debatable, there's some debatable stuff on this, I've read it. Looks like they gotta walk like 5 blocks or something.
In addition, this May service plan includes an upgrade for a portion of Line 17 to frequent service, with buses arriving every 15
You mean
minutes.
they're bringing back service? Stop lying, you cut the service and now you're bringing it back. It's not upgrading, it's bringing back what you fucking cut without asking anybody, you liar.
Rest of the day and every day. The board must.
Although, yes, they did add the weekend, so that's a plus. So that's something extra. It's only 2.5, 3 years later after they fucked everybody.
Adopt service changes and revise TriMet route designations through the ordinance process, which brings us here today. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Does
you're
the
great.
board have questions?
Look at him, there's his Mussolini move.
Further discussion regarding ordinance 372.
One comment. While I'm supportive of this ordinance, I fully trust staff will do proper advertisements of the changes that are going to be coming in this meeting.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Such small time
Fucking
between
idiots.
the voting today and the implementation of the changes. I wanted to just ask again for the staff to ensure that all of the affected lines get proper notices out to the writers, current writers. For instance, I used to write 62 all the time every weekend. So those swaps, right? So when the lines have swaps, although the service is not getting cut off, but it's getting swapped with different lines, those sort of, I think that'll be tremendous for the writers.
I really appreciate that. We have our communications director sitting next to me, and I'll make sure that goes into effect.
Thank you.
Director Baumann?
Oh, I was just going to say that these changes are at least part in District 4, and I'm very appreciative that these changes are being made to make it safer for students to travel to and from Cleveland High School. So, thank you.
Now I'm going to ask General Counsel Shelley Devine to hold the roll call vote.
Thank you, President Simmons. We'll start with Director Kim.
Aye.
Director Wade.
Aye.
Director Gonzalez. Director Baumann.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
Director Lewis.
Aye.
Director Simmons.
Aye.
The ordinance 372 passes unanimously.
Thank you. The ordinance is now adopted. We now move to the second reading of ordinance 373. This ordinance addresses our annual service adjustments that TRIMET plans to implement in FY
Who cares?
24, which is our next fiscal year.
Ah, fuck that shit, Mike.
To read the ordinance by title only.
Thank you, President Simmons. Ordinance 373 of the Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon adopting FY 2024 service changes and revising route designations. And this is the second reading.
Thank you. Mr. General Manager, is there anything you'd like to add?
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. Contained with this ordinance here is our first big package of service improvements coming out of our Forward Together service concept. Forward Together is about increasing ridership and providing better and smarter connections for the people who rely on our transit system, especially those with low and limited incomes. The Forward Together project came together in response to dramatic changes in travel patterns that occurred as a result.
Yeah, Forward Together, they shoved it down your throat without asking you. Okay, they lied to you. They told you for a year and a half straight they were going to bring back. I did, Mike.
Result of the pandemic. It was informed by the community after an extensive outreach and engagement. With these service adjustments, we will begin restoring service. We will begin restoring service that have been cut over the last 3 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and then to our historic operator bus shortage. TriMet is eager to begin rolling out these changes as we have stabilized the staffing shortage, and now we can start adding back service as we believe we will have enough operators to continue.
And they made that staffing shortage on purpose. It was intentionally.
Consistently supported.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's Mr. Williams.
Does any board member have any questions or wish to have further discussion regarding ordinance 373? Seeing none, I'm going to ask General Counsel Shelley Devine to hold the roll call vote.
Thank you, President Simmons. I'll start with Director Lewis.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
Director Baumann.
Aye.
Director Gonzalez.
Aye.
Director Way.
Aye.
Director Kim.
Aye.
Director Simmons.
Aye.
Ordinance 373 passes unanimously.
Thank you. Now we move to the first reading of ordinance 374. This ordinance reflects the fare increase proposal under consideration by the board. There is no vote with the first reading of ordinances. The board is scheduled to vote on ordinance 374 at our May 24th board meeting. However, we will hold a public hearing momentarily. First, I'll ask General Counsel Shelley Devine to read the ordinance by title only.
Thank you, President Simmons. Ordinance 374 of the Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon adopting fare increases, and amending TRIMET Code Chapter 19. This is the first reading and public hearing.
Thank you. General Manager Desu, do you have additional comments?
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. Ordinance 374 would amend TRIMET Code to adopt a fare increase that would be January 1st of next year. If approved, the ordinance would bring the first increase to adult fare on TRIMET in 11 years.
Yeah, goddamn worst time in the world to do it. You're goddamn criminals, you're sociopaths, you're psychopaths. You can join the club of elites that are crushing the average people.
We last increased any fares on our system in 2015. The ordinance that you are hearing today comes at a request. This morning, I have Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Nancy Young Oliver, as well as our Chief Inclusion Diversity and Access Officer, John Garner here. They both will provide detail on the ordinance, the equity considerations, as well as the federal requirement that comes with the fare increase. Nancy?
Thank you and good morning again. Just wanted to do a quick reminder of some of the information that we presented to you previously and with some updates to that information. Advance. So as a reminder, as we look at TRIMET's major sources of revenue, our employer payroll taxes and our federal funding has increased year over year, but our passenger fares have not kept pace with the cost of services. Advance.
There we go.
Previously, we presented to you this snapshot of our peer fares, and there were some additional questions, information.
I can't read that.
So we have added the ridership for 2019 as well as 2021. We've also included youth-based fares and paratransit-based fares. This was previously sent out to you in an email.
It doesn't mean anything, okay? It's a smoke screen to try to pretend that they need to have a fare increase. They're fucking lying pieces of shit.
Advance. So finally, I just would like to, remind us that TRIMET has a strategic financial plan that the board adopted, and that plan specifically addresses our fare policy that seeks a financially sustainable system that encourages and supports ridership and ensures broad access to transit services. We strive for a sustainable balance between growth in ridership and passenger revenue, specifically calling for a pricing strategy that keeps pace with the cost of services. John?
I'm not going.
Excuse me. Good afternoon again, and of course Title VI, you've heard a lot about this morning, and I believe the full Title VI report is in your packet, but I wanted just to go over some of the highlights this morning. Next slide. So in November, the board proposed that we research the impacts of essentially a 12% fare increase across the following fare types, both the adult fare, the honored citizen fare, the youth.
Terrible. It's a terrible injustice. It's the worst time in the world to do it. Other cities are going fareless, and the need motherfuckers are gouging you even more.
Lift paratransit. Next slide. So TRIMET has fairly sensitive thresholds when it comes to Title VI. When it comes to fares, you'll see across the country between a 5 and a 35% variance. So ours is at 10%. So even though before we actually went into the deep analysis of the Title VI, which was required, we knew that a 12% increase would automatically flag disparate impact and a disproportionate burden. So when we brought in our partner in the spousal, the real question was not, is it a Title VI violation? It's where is that impact going to be felt most? And so through surveys and through all the focus groups we did, we identified essentially 4 rider type groups. Those that pay with cash or credit, which is the highest impact of the 12% increase. Those are hop riders who ride less frequently, who is the second highest impacted. And then we saw hop riders who use the system frequently, which may also be transit-dependent riders who are using us. We see a very limited impact. And then our institutional programs or school districts or folks who are buying employee pass programs, we see no impact. Next slide. But of course, because of our threshold and because of the 12% increase, there is both a disparate impact and a disproportionate burden. And so both our team as
At least he admits that much. The fucking useless, goddamn criminal in charge of this new department of baloney.
As well as the spousal believes that the way to sort of minimize, mitigate, or avoid these impacts is really to lean into our monthly fare cap process, as well as to start expanding registration in the low-income fare program, specifically for people of color, as well as limited English proficient communities. Next slide.
In other words, his proposal is to do nothing. That's his proposal. We're going to do nothing.
At the last board retreat strategy session, we talked about some of the historic mitigations we put in place with community. You all know that next year will be the highest amount of investment we've ever done for subsidized fare programs. We're incredibly proud of that.
You goddamn criminal! You're a criminal! I'm not working it yet! Forget it!